totally identified with it. The whole world identified with it. And the whole world was proud of it. Once you got pride, I learned this in the Army, a whole bunch of things that seemed impossible start to seem not only possible, but let's get on with it. And there was a sense of engineering accomplishment, of being able to set a damn near impossible goal, and then just haul off and do it.
As an astronaut, I was really emotionally invested in what was happening with the planet. Being who I was, and not just blasting my little pig body up into space, but being able to look back with my human eyes and my brain and my heart and see this planet below me. To me, technology has clearly both good sides and bad sides. It's how one uses it.
That's good, isn't it? Yeah, looks like it.
Apollo 9 was the first flight that flew the lunar module, and I was the first lunar module pilot. And I also went outside the lunar module, and it would be the first time that a human being went outside a spacecraft without an umbilical.
Okay. Proceeding on out.
Dave's in the command module, hanging out the hatch with a movie camera, when all of a sudden he says, hey, hold on, my camera just jammed.
Has ripped out of the straight line.
So Jim says, well, I'll give you 5 minutes. Rusty, just stay right there. I'm just floating there, almost as if I'm naked in space. And all this stuff starts coming into my mind. I'm here because life has evolved on this planet. We've developed brains which enable us to invent machines. In combination with those machines, we're able to extend our environment. And here I am on the frontier of this evolutionary process. What am I? I'm a representative of life moving out into the universe. So the idea of Mother Earth, that phrase has real meaning. From the outside, you can look back. The child now sees its mother. We human beings, we this life form on this incredible planet, just coated with life. Where are we going?
The photographs of the Earth from space were a different kind of mirror than we had ever looked in before. It flips you from the world that we're in to a planet that we're on.
The image, I think, was maybe the most reproduced image in American history. We suddenly realized that the Earth was a very small thing. Much as if you live on an island, you are much more acutely aware of the limitations on your resources and on your ability to pollute. That photograph of the Earth in this vast sea of space did pretty much the same thing for the whole planet.
If the people really understood that in the lifetime of their children, they're going to have destroyed the quality of the air and the water all over the world, and perhaps made the globe unlivable in a half century, they'd do something about it. But this is not well understood.
Senator Gaylord Nelson was one of my very best friends. He was a great governor of Wisconsin, and he was a great conservationist. He was the one that said, well, why not have teach-ins about the environment all over the country? And this is what became the first Earth Day in 1970.
Gaylord cared passionately about conservation issues throughout his entire career.
In efficient, clean, cheap mass transportation, which is what this country must come to.
He had decided to set up a steering committee and actually make this begin to happen. He'd enlisted already Pete McCloskey, a Republican congressman from California who was an ardent environmentalist, to co-chair it with him.
The preservation of the environment is going to have to be a very top item. For that reason, I just delighted to support it. And the Republican Party in my lifetime had been an environmental party. But man, by 1970, it was hard to find Republicans that put the environment anywhere in their top 5 list of priorities. But Gaylord, he wanted it to be bipartisan. So he said, Pete, would you be co-chairman? Would I be co-chairman? It meant everything that I wanted to do in the world. So I think it was in December, January 1970, we hired Dennis Hayes to be the director. And Dennis comes to Washington with about 20 or 30 kids that are about 18 to 22, the oldest. And they send out newsletters all over the country to every student body present, 10,000 high schools, a couple of thousand colleges. Would you like to have an Earth Day on April 22nd?
What we were trying to do was to create a brand new public consciousness that would cause the rules of the game to change. It was somewhat ironic for something called Earth Day to be entirely focused on the United States. But remember, we had virtually no money. We had incredible aspirations, but there was no World Wide Web. There was no internet, there were no blogs, there was no email, there was no instant messaging, there was none of the kind of web activism that is possible today. The newsletters that were sent to people across the country were all printed for us for free by the United Auto Workers. The United Auto Workers were the largest single contributors, financially and otherwise, to Earth